guys, welcome to my channel, Debiru's Fashion. Thank you very much for stopping by to watch this video on how to make a flounce. Now, what is a flounce? A flounce is a beautiful piece that is attached to a dress to add color, to add finesse, to add a new design on a plain dress. Okay, so the fabrics, you can use different types of fabrics to make your flounce. You can use different methods to cut your flounce, but for the sake of this tutorial, I will be using the simplest method ever. That is the circle method. So if you know how to cut your circle, that's your flare, your normal flare, then this tutorial will be simple for you. And then it's easy to really cut a flare anyways. It's easy to cut a flare. And so I'll be turning that flare design into a flounce. And by the way, a flounce on a dress can be a rose. A flounce can be turned into a rose. It can be turned into frills. It can be turned into different designs. It can be turned into ruffles. So whatever you want to create from the flare, it's a win-win for you. You can just be creative with your designs, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be doing just a flounce. And then to make a flounce weighty, to add firmness to the flounce, you can add your hair stay. And then if you want to make it wavy also, you can add your crinoline or horsehair. I'll be attaching the link to my video on how to make your wavy peplum. It can also be a way for you to add curliness to your flounce. So just stay tuned to this tutorial. And then the flounce is going to run, let me not forget to tell you that a flounce can run from the top of the dress straight down to the dress. But for my tutorial, it will be running from the half length, that's the waistline, downwards. So there are different ways to place your flounce on the dress, so just watch me. Now we want to cut the flounce. So what you do is the remaining dress length, that's the lower block of your dress. Mine is 29 inches. So I'm going to multiply that by 2 to give me 58. So I will divide 58 by 6.28. I'm sure you know how to cut your flare, your radius already. 58 divided by 6.28 will give me 9.25. Now to know the amount of fabric I'll be folding, I would add 9.25 radius to the flounce length, the width of the flounce, how wide it's going to be. That's 8 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, because I'll be turning it with lining. So in total, the amount of fabric I'll be folding is 18.25. So you fold. I've already cut it out. You're going to measure 18.25. Here, 18.25. That's about 18 1/4. Just mark it there, and then you hold that place down and fold your fabric into 2. So you get that 18.25 on this length too, 18.25. Make sure the whole flare, the whole square is 18.25 round. Now for my radius, 9.25. Our radius is 9.25. So you're just going to mark that from the tip of your So I've cut out my radius and my flounce length here. So you're just going to open up one side, you slash one side, and then you're going to slant this point. So now you open up the front block of the lower dress, and so I want to show you how to do it. So you're going to, that's after we've done the facing. This edge, that's the radius point, is not supposed to be visible outside. So this goes under like this, and so you turn it again. By the time I put the facing, it's going to be obvious. You turn it again and you place it under like that. Then you turn it again under to conceal the radius, because we'll be top stitching it on the front block. And then you do that and you turn it again under, and then you turn it again. You see how beautiful the flounce is. So you take your flounce. You can see that I have lined my flounce with Ankara, because I want that highlight. I want an highlighting. So you're going to iron your air stay interfacing. You iron it on the lining, because I want you to have some weight. So this is how. So once you've ironed that, you're going to sew it on the hem. Sew it on the hem of the flounce, and then you turn it out. When you turn it out, you iron it properly, and after ironing, you're going to top stitch to hold the two together at the radius point. So once you're done, this is how you're going to set it, like this. You're going to put it in between the darts like this, and so you take it underneath. Just watch as I go on, you're going to get it. You take it under. So I'm going to pin this at the top so it doesn't shift around. I've pinned that. So you're going to take it backwards again. It's like you're going in, out, in, out. So you take it backwards again, like this, and then you take it underneath again. It's just like a sequence of flow. You can see it's coming out beautifully. So you take it under again, and then you take it backwards and you take it under. So I want my flounce to reach down, so I'm going to be reducing this, like I'm going to be reducing the fullness of the flounce like this, so that it can go underneath also. Look at what I'm doing. It's not difficult, you can do this. So there's really no big deal about your flounce. Once you get the technique, you are good to go. Nobody can bobo you. So you see this. So in order for this part not to show, I'm going to loosen a bit of it. So when I loosen a bit of it, I will tuck in. So the lower part, I'm leaving this for my hem-line because I'll be folding it in with the hemming gum. So you're just going to leave that allowance, and then this part, you're going to fold it in like this. Make sure you tuck in the mess and you top stitch down. Now how will you be top stitching? You're going to go this way and you top stitch down, so that this falls down. It conceals your seam. So now I'm going to pin each point down and show you how you will tack it to the blouse. So I've pinned it down so that by the time I take it away from the table, it won't scatter. So you're going to now take this to the machine and you top stitch the top of the flounce to the top of the half length of the lower block, and then you open up this point and you also top stitch the top here. Then you open up this point and you top stitch here so that it will stay on the bodice like that. So I'm going to sew this down, sew this down, sew this down, and then remember the way I showed you how to do this part.